they have some boundaries and rules and for the audience participation. Reactions at the Minecraft movie are getting out of hand from what I've seen. People bring literal chickens to the chicken jockey thing, or in a not so funny situation, a theater employee getting body slammed by a theater goer. As a former movie theater employee, not a fan of that. I mean, I have nothing against these fans showing their joy for seeing something that they enjoyed in the video game brought to the big screen. I cried tears of joy when Rainbow Road showed up in the Mario movie. I cried tears of joy when Mario and Luigi got the Power Star and completely kicked the butts of all of Bowser's minions in the climactic finale. I felt overrun with joy recognizing Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario and Luigi's dad. I think you get the idea, so let's take a look at some of these situations. Alright, first, this short here.
Chicken Jockey!
According to the caption, y'all, my whole MT was screaming so loud when the staff had to come in there. And let's see what this Utah news station had to show about it.
A viral trend causing chaos for people heading to the movies in Utah. You might have seen some of these videos. Crowds at the Minecraft movie shouting and tossing popcorn everywhere.
Yeah, what's going on here? Well, some theaters tell us the hype is going too far after one person snuck a live chicken into a screening in Provo. Our Jonathan May tells us what happened next.
When Jack Black's character Steve says the words chicken jockey, fans of the movie go crazy. But here in Provo, that's when workers...
Keep in mind, from my experience with the TV concentration, when we toured an actual TV studio, I actually saw them drop a story because a new story came up that was more important. I don't know if I forget if they used the urgency importance matrix, but the old saying, if it bleeds, it leads, is completely true. Just watch the movie Nightcrawler. Let's get back to this.
had enough.
Chicken Jockey!
When the chicken jockey scene came on, that's when everything just broke loose. There was popcorn flying through the air. There was confetti cannons being blown off, and then a live chicken was...
Wow, they must have gotten there fast if they were able to interview someone who was actually there.
our theater.
At the chicken jockey scene, I just stopped the movie, the house lights came on really quick, and then they were all asked to leave.
A viewer sent us this video of a crowd of people with what appears to be someone holding up the chicken outside the theater Tuesday night. This married couple tells me it's unlike anything they've seen before.
I'm a Minecraft player, but this has kind of made me want to step away a little bit.
And when in the film creating so much chaos, a viewer sent us this photo of Megaplex's warning in front of the film.
They actually had to put a warning like that in front of it. We are aware of the TikTok trends associated with a Minecraft movie. Please know that those who disrupt our guests and damage our theater will be escorted out of the theater immediately by police. We will press charges for any damage to our property. Wow, Megaplex is not messing around. So I have to wonder, would it really matter if someone came in after the movie started, didn't know, and then they were the lone weirdo who reacted like that? I mean, I cried really hard in Avengers Endgame when Iron Man died. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. See, that's how much it affected me, that over 6 years later I can cry on command when I think about it. But yeah, you didn't see me like throwing, I don't know, what is it? What would be an Iron Man? Comment an Iron Man related thing someone could throw that would get them thrown out of the theater? Well, pretty much throwing anything, unless it's a Rocky Horror Picture Show screening, would get you thrown out. Well, the one at the AMC next to the Boston Common, they have some boundaries and rules for the audience participation. For those of you who don't know, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, they have audience participation, which I'm actually going to look up some of the details. Rocky Horror Picture Show participation. All right, I've got that queued up. Let's finish the Utah news video first and then come back to it. But yeah, before I continue, I just want to say, again, I'm impressed this actually made the news because say what you will about TV news, but they do have to be a lot more selective about what they put out there, unless this is an internet exclusive that they had to punt to the internet because they couldn't put it into the broadcast because something more important came up. The reason I would say that this is important is because, well, it goes to show that TikTok is destroying the fabric of society. I'm just going to leave it there for now and finish the video.
Saying if you disrupt gas or damage the theater, police will escort you out.
I'm Steve.
In Provo, a similar warning.
I paused the movie and then opened the window and told everyone that they needed to behave or else they were going to be asked to leave and no refunds would be given. And for a while, they did quiet down up until the chicken jockey scene.
Wait, does he work at the theater? Hold on. Let's see. Does it say anything about if he works at the theater? Jonathan May, that's someone who... That's the news guy, and then... her name's not good.
When the chicken jockey scene came on, that's when everything just broke loose. There was popcorn flying through the air. There was confetti cannons being blown off, and then a live chicken was in our theater.
At the chicken jockey scene, I just stopped the movie, the house lights came on really quick, and then they were all asked to leave.
A viewer sent us this video of a crowd of people with what appears to be someone holding up the chicken outside the theater Tuesday night. This married couple tells me it's unlike anything they've seen before.
I'm a Minecraft player, but this has kind of made me want to step away a little bit.
Wait, do they work at the theater or not? Because he... Hold on, I need to listen back.
When everything just broke loose. There was popcorn flying through the air. There was confetti cannons being blown off, and then a live chicken was in our theater.
At the chicken jockey scene, I just stopped the movie, the house lights came on really quick, and then they were all asked to leave.
A viewer sent us this video of a crowd of people with what appears to be someone holding up the chicken outside the theater Tuesday night. This married couple tells me it's unlike anything they've seen before.
I'm a Minecraft player, but this has kind of made me want to step away a little bit.
And when in the film creating so much chaos, a viewer sent us this photo of Megaplex's warning in front of the film, saying if you disrupt gas or damage the theater, police will escort you out.
I'm Steve.
In Provo, a similar warning.
I paused the movie and then opened the window and told everyone that they needed to behave or else they were going to be asked to leave and no refunds would be given. And for a while, they did quiet down up until the chicken jockey scene.
What is a chicken jockey? A Minecraft player says,
A baby zombie rides in on a chicken. And in the chicken jockey scene, there's a crate that comes down, and it releases the chicken, and then a baby zombie comes in on top of it, and Jack Black says, chicken jockey, and then everybody goes crazy.
Provo police say they are aware of the video and are looking into it. Reporting in Provo, Jonathan May, ABC4 News.
Yeah, I remember off the top of my head that confetti is a part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show audience participation. And I remember coming up with the idea that maybe there can be dedicated screenings for audience members for them to lean into the TikTok trends to an extent. Now, let's see what the Rocky Horror Picture Show audience participation does. I'll be pointing out what the AMC at the Boston Common doesn't allow at all, or what the modified version is. And I will say that instead of throwing things at the screen, you were encouraged to just throw it in the air. Like the wad of toilet paper that came in the bag. When Brad yells, "Great Scott!" Alright, prop list. Basic list of props and instructions for their use. Rice for the wedding scene. Not allowed at AMC at the Boston Common at all. And there's a little comic strip for do not throw at performers. I remember in an episode of Bless the Hearts, the daughter explained that you had to throw the rice down to avoid getting it into people's eyes. So I'd say between that and the cleaning situation is probably why they don't allow it at the AMC Boston Common. Newspapers. Cover your head with a newspaper. Fairly harmless. Water pistols. Not allowed at the AMC at the Boston Common. Kind of negates the newspaper effect, or kind of defeats the purpose of the newspapers, but whatever. They probably don't want people bringing in water guns because one, someone could bring in a more realistic looking one and get the wrong idea. And two, it would probably take forever to dry off the seats. Yeah, the ones at that particular theater that I went into that at, they were felt leather. I mean, no, not leather. They were felt fabric, meaning they would stay wet for a while unless someone manually dried them out. Whereas with the leather at the theater I usually go to, they could just run some dry towels over it. Okay, all good. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert on materials like that. Candles, flashlights, also not allowed at the AMC at the Boston Common. I forget if there was a substitute they had in there. Actually, you know what? I think I should look up Rocky Horror Picture Show full body cast. See, my memory is more than fallible. Oh, they're doing a lingerie show on the 19th. Wait, is this just a Star Wars one because it's the day before May the 4th? Okay, their prop bag guide. So it says, do not throw anything at the actors or the screen. So if you don't buy a bag, you're a target. Yes, they don't allow rice, real toast, hot dogs, squirt guns, or open flames. Though, hilariously, you could actually buy a hot dog at the theater, and then I guess you could throw that up in the air. I mean, it's a waste of food, but you could still technically get a hot dog there. And open flames, so it looks like this is off the table. Then rubber gloves. I still have the one from the prop bag I bought. Noisemakers. Ah, yeah, confetti. See, this is going back to the Minecraft movie situation. See, there's precedent for that. The toilet paper, the toast, the party hat, the cards. Yeah, in my case, I got Magic the Gathering cards in my prop bag that I bought at the full body cast show. But anyway, it has me thinking for movies like that, maybe they should do a dedicated screening for it because last Christmas Day there was a showing for Wicked that they did where It was a sing-along. They do this for musical movies quite a bit. Basically, every musical Disney movie from the last few years, they had a sing-along version in January after it released in November. In the case of Wicked, they had on Christmas Day. But the idea is to give people a space in the theater to do a sing-along version. Now, I'm not saying that such hypothetical audience participation movies beyond just the Rocky Horror Picture Show should allow insanity like bringing a live chicken. I'm sorry. I it's I know it's driving the theater employees insane, but damn it is hilarious. Though it's probably a health code violation like the Romanian diaper changing station being in the middle of a store. Movie theaters serve food, so live chickens, and the whole recent bird flu situation and all that. I will let you connect the dots. And of course, there's the whole it's not a service animal scenario. I mean, I bet they probably got it in by just saying it's a service animal, and by law, the employees had to believe them. For those of you who don't know, the Americans with Disabilities Act allows for reasonable accommodations, meaning you can bring a service animal into a establishment that otherwise prohibits pets. Because it's a reasonable accommodation, people need to be able to bring their service animals to go places. It's a reasonable accommodation because it just is. And by law, they're not allowed to ask for proof. They have to just take their word for it. I can imagine that's how the chicken got past the theater ushers in the first place. I guess the reason that they got kicked out is because they found out that it wasn't quite the service animal that they probably implied it to be. I mean, I'm legitimately curious how they would be able to just sneak it in. I feel like you'd have to pull the it's a service animal little card, and they would just, again, they have to believe you at face value. But the point is, something like a dedicated screening for audience participation might be a pretty good idea for theaters in the future, I'm not gonna lie. Again, have some boundaries on it, like the Rocky Horror Picture Show full body cast. They don't allow rice, real toast, hot dogs, squirt guns, or open flames. They have clear instructions for what to do. Really, I think if you just set some boundaries, then audience participation movie screenings could be a fun thing to do. But that's going to do it for the video. You comment down below what you think of this whole situation. If you agree with me that audience participation movies should be more of a thing, or screenings for the say, or specified screenings like sing-alongs for musicals. Give this video a like, subscribe for daily videos, and I'll see you soon.